Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Melvin Berliana Mirullah. My NPM is 224111025. Today, I'm from Management 22A class. Today, on a presentation about sampling technique. What is sampling technique? It is sampling technique is a method or approach used to select samples from a population. A sample is a group of elements or individuals drawn from a given population with the aim of making estimates or inference about the population more efficiently and economically. The sampling techniques used may vary depending on the nature of the population, research objective, and availability of research. The characteristic sampling technique have some specific feature that distinguish them from each other. The choice of sampling technique depends on the characteristic of the population, the objective of study, and the resource available. Here are some common features of various sampling techniques. The first is simple random sampling or SRS. Main characteristic: every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Advantage: simple, known probability. Limitation: may not be practical for large or widely distributed population. And then stratified sampling. Key features: the population is divided into homogeneous strata or subgroups, and samples are drawn from each stratum. Advantage: ensures representation of each stratum. Reduce variability in the sample. Limitation: require accurate information about the strata, and the process of dividing the strata may be complicated. And then systematic sampling. Key features: elements are selected regularly using systematic intervals. Advantage: relatively simple and easy not implement. Limitation: prone to bias of periodic patterns in the population. And then cluster sampling. Key features: the population is divided into groups or clusters, and clusters are randomly selected. The entire cluster is taken as the sample. Advantage: suitable for dispersed or hard to reach population, reduce cost and time. Limitation: variability between clusters may affect the results. And then snowball sampling. Key features: initial sample is randomly selected. Then sample member provide information to select additional member. Advantage: suitable for hard to reach population or group that are not easily identifiable. Limitation: prone to bias, not randomly representative of the population. Each sampling technique has advantage and disadvantage, and the choice of technique depends on the research context. It is important to choose a technique that suits the purpose of the study and the characteristic of the population to obtain reliable and generalized results. And then the benefit. Sampling techniques have several important benefits in the context of research and data collection. Here are some of the key benefits of applying sampling techniques. The first is research efficiency. Sampling techniques allow research to draw samples that are representative of the population in an efficient and cost-effective manner. The process is often more economical than collecting data from the entire population. And then time efficient. The use of sampling techniques speed up the data collection process, as only a small portion of the population needs to be taken. This can save time and allow the research or survey to be complete faster. Partici- partici- practically, practically, practicality. Some population may be difficult or expensive to access in their entirety. Sampling techniques, especially those that are cluster or stratified, allow research to collect data from representative groups or strata without having to visit every element of the population. Easier generalization. By using appropriate sampling techniques, the result of the analysis can be generalized to reflect the characteristic of the population as a whole. This allows policymakers or research to make broader inference from the sample to the population. Efficient data management. A smaller sample size than the population makes data management and analysis easier. Research involving large sample may require large and computing and storage research. Benefits: improve validity and reliability. By using appropriate sampling techniques, research can produce more valid and reliable results. Selection of a representative sample can reduce the risk of bias and increase confidence in the research results. Handling large population. In very large population, collecting data from the entire population may not be practical. Sampling technique allow research to overcome this obstacle and still get reliable results. And then impracticality of taking the entire population. In some cases, taking the entire population may not be possible or practical, such as when the population is very large or widely distributed. distributed. Sampling technique help overcome the obstacle and allow the research to still be conducted. It is important to remember that the success of sampling technique depends on selecting methods that are appropriate to the research objectives and population characteristics. If sampling technique are if sampling techniques are conducted carefully and appropriately, they can they can provide high quality and relevant research results. The conclusion. In conclusion, sampling techniques are an important approach to data collection that allow research to make estimates and inference about a population more efficiently and economically. Some key conclusions related to sampling technique involve efficiency and economy. The use of sampling technique allow research to collect representative information from a population more efficiently and cost effectively than taking data from the entire population. And then validity and reliability. The selection of appropriate sampling technique can increase the validity and reliability of research results. By selecting a representative sample, research can provide more accurate and reliable results. Practical and efficient data management. Sampling technique fa- facilitate data management and analysis by reducing the sample size to a manageable number. This allows the research to run more efficiently. And then issue generalization. By selecting a representative sample, research can make broader and more generalizable inference from the result to the entire population. Handling large population. In very large population, sampling technique help overcome constraint in data collection. This allows the research to remain relevant and useful without having to collect data from the entire population. Flexibility selection of technique. There are various sampling techniques that can be selected according to the research objectives, population characteristic, and availability of research. This flexibility allows the research to tailor the sampling method to the specific needs of the study. However, it is important to remember that selection of an appropriate sampling technique requires careful consideration and assessment of the population characteristic and research objectives. Error in technique selection or implementation may affect the validity of the research results. Therefore, the main conclusion is that the selection of sampling techniques should be done carefully and in accordance with the research context to ensure the success and accuracy of research results. That's all the presentation of material that I brought. I apologize if there is a word or pronounce I said wrong in English. And I end. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.